open statement. This is to advise the general public that in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, entitled Senator Byron Barr Open Public Meeting Act, New Jersey Casino Control Commission on December 11, 2024, filed with Secretary of State at the State House in Trenton an annual meeting schedule. On December 12, 2024, copies were mailed to subscribers. The use of cell phones in the public meeting room while the commission is in session is prohibited. Any member who wishes to address the commission will be given the opportunity to do so before the commission adjourns for the day. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone who is joining us in person and remotely today. Meeting participants who wish to do so can continue to address the Commission through remote technology. We are also permitting in-person participation, and the public meeting room is therefore open. We will, however, continue to stream our public meetings. The public is able to listen through access provided on the Commission's website, as well as through our YouTube channel. We will accept public comments via email. Public comments can be sent to public.comments@ccc.nj.gov beginning now. I will repeat that. Public comments can be sent to public.comments@ccc.nj.gov beginning now and any time throughout the meeting, ending at the time of adjournment. This meeting is being transcribed as well as recorded, and minutes will be available on our website in due course. To meeting participant callers, I ask that you follow the instructions provided with the web link or audio call-in code and place your phones on mute until your matter is called. Also, when your matter is called, please turn on your camera and identify yourself before speaking.
Please answer when I call your name for the roll, please. Commissioner Formica,
Here.
Commissioner Molyneux,
Present.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Present.
Matters discussed in closed session this morning included employee key license application matters, as well as approval of the closed session minutes of October 8, 2025. The first matter for your consideration is the ratification of the minutes of the public meeting of October 8, 2025.
Are there any questions for council or any corrections?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Thank you, Chairman. I move to ratify the minutes of October 28th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Agenda item number 2 are applications for initial casino key employee licenses. They include Sharice M. Brown, also known as Sharice M. Needham, Francis A. Ferrara, also known as Frank A. Ferrara, Frankie A. Ferrara, Renee Jones, also known as Renee Howard, Christopher J. Mahaffey, Tammy C. Morelli, also known as Tammy C. Stegall, Wesley Perla Melgar, Darren C. Prince, Christopher R. Robbins, Christopher Shunk, Tyler P. Schwartz, also known as Tyler P. Meehan, and Woshit M. Trojanowski. All matters have been reviewed by the Division of Gaming Enforcement as well as Commission staff, and the recommendation is that those identified 11 initial casino key employee license applicants be granted.
Are there any questions regarding any of these matters?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have reviewed the memo of Assistant Director Ehler and also the division's reports finding no negative information and I move to grant the 11 initial casino key employee licenses as listed by General Counsel.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 3 are applications for resubmitted casino key employee licenses and/or for qualification. They include John Bitzberger, Walter J. Cox III, Vong T. Doan, Timothy M. Feely, Joseph Fierro, Jennifer Garcia, Joseph R. Junta, Joan Hance, also known as Joan Blanche, Timothy J. Pickett, Christopher M. Rinkowitz, Buzz M. Rinkowitz, also known as Buzz M. Rinkowitz, Luz M. Santos, also known as Luz M. Torres, James S. Toe, Suzanne M. West, also known as Suzanne M. McAllister, and Michael D. Young. There's several different categories of items for your consideration under this matter. The first are resubmissions that have been reviewed by the division as well as commission staff with a recommendation that they be granted, and those include John Bitzberger, Walter J. Cox III, Vong T. Doan, Timothy M. Feely, Joseph Fiera, Jennifer Garcia, Joan Hance, also known as Joan Blanche, Timothy J. Pickett, Luz M. Santos, also known as Luz M. Torres, James S. Toe, and Michael D. Young.
Are there any questions regarding any of these matters?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, I've reviewed the memo from Assistant Director Ealer and the voice of no objection by the division, and I move to grant the 11 resubmitted casino employee licenses.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
With respect to Suzanne West M., that matter has also been reviewed by the division and commission staff with a recommendation that her resubmitted application be approved with a multi-casino endorsement to serve as administrator, security, regional, Caesars, Harrah's, and Tropicana.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to grant the resubmission application of Susan M. Weist for a casino key employee license with multi-casino endorsement, and that's pursuant to NJSA 5:12-91.1.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
The next matter is Joseph R. Gunta. His resubmission application and continued qualification has also been reviewed by the division and commission staff with a recommendation that it be granted to permit him to continue to serve as Senior Vice President and General Manager for Tropicana Atlantic City Corp.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I move to grant the resubmitted application for a casino key employee license and qualification for Joseph R. Gunton.
Is there a second?
No. Sorry. Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
The next item is Christopher M. Rinkowitz, also known as Buzz M. Rinkowitz. His resubmission application and continued qualification request has also been reviewed by the division with no objection and by commission staff with the recommendation that it be granted to permit him to continue to serve as Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer for Marina District Development Company, LLC, doing business as Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I move to grant the resubmitted key license and qualification for Christopher M. Rinkowitz.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
No, sir.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Now for agenda item number 4, are approvals through delegation of authority between October 1, 2025 and October 31, 2025 pursuant to resolution number 2201-1211B. You have Manager Harry Givens here to review those items with you. However, no commission action is required at this time.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Between
Morning.
October 1st and October 31st, the staff of the Commission's Regulatory Affairs Division granted the following approval via its delegated authority. On October 17th, the temporary casino key employee license was granted to Ian M. Cruz for a lead surveillance officer position at Caesars. This memorializes the approvals that were granted by the Commission's Division of Regulatory Affairs via its delegated authority during this period. No further Commission action is required. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 5 is request for inactivation of Saida R. Nahar's casino key employee license. Again, you have Manager Harry Givens to review it with you.
In lieu of filing a casino key employee license review application, Seda R. Nahar has requested to be placed on the casino key employee license approved inactive list. If the request is granted, this individual may remain on the approved inactive list for a period of up to 5 years. Commission staff has reviewed the request and recommends that you grant the requested relief.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to grant the requested relief in order that Saida R. Nahar casino key employee license be inactivated.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item number 6 is consideration of the lapsing of Stephen T. Cardays, also known as Stephen M. Chuchio's casino key employee license. Again, we have Manager Harry Givens to review it with you.
For your consideration is the lapsing of the casino key employee license of Stephen T. Carday for failure to file a casino key employee license review application or request to be placed on the casino key employee license approved inactive list. The due date for filing a casino key employee license is passed. Based on staff's review, we recommend that the casino key employee license of the noted individual be deemed to have lapsed.
Are there any questions regarding this matter?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I move to find that Stephen T. Carday's casino key employee license lapsed pursuant to NJAC 19:41A-6.1F of the regulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
No, sir.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 7 is consideration of the initial application of Narisha Washington for a casino key employee license. That is identified as docket number 250177CK. You have Senior Counsel Pipinelli here to review that matter with you.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners.
Morning.
Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. For your consideration is the request of Narisha Washington to withdraw her pending initial application for a casino key employee license. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Ms. Washington was notified of today's proceedings. I would ask counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. On September 26, 2025, the division filed a letter of no objection to Narisha Washington's request to withdraw their application for a casino key employee license. Thank you.
And for the record, the applicant is not here.
Correct.
Thank you. Are there any questions for counsel on this matter?
No.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I now reviewed the memo of Senior Counsel for the CCC and the letter of no objection from the division. I move to grant the requested relief in order that the initial application of Narisha Washington for a casino key employee license be withdrawn, subject to the condition that Ms. Washington may not reapply for a casino key employee license until after November 12th, 2026.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
No, sir.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item number 8 is consideration of the initial application of Ricardo Hernandez for a Casino Key employee license identified as docket number 250176CK. Again, we have Senior Counsel Pipinelli to review it with you.
Chairman Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. For your consideration is the request of Ricardo Hernandez to withdraw his pending initial application for a Casino Key employee license. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Mr. Hernandez was notified of today's proceedings. I'd ask counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. On October 6, 2025, the division filed a letter of no objection to Ricardo Hernandez's request to withdraw their application for a Casino Key employee license. Thank you.
Thank you. And for the record, the applicant is not here.
Correct.
Are there any questions for counsel on this matter?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I reviewed the memo of Senior Counsel for the CCC and the letter of no objection from the division. At this time, I move to grant the requested relief in order that the initial application of Ricardo Hernandez for a Casino Key employee license be withdrawn, subject to the condition that Mr. Hernandez may not reapply for a Casino Key employee license until after November 12th, 2026.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
No, sir.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item number 9 is consideration of the initial application of Kenneth Purnell Jr. for a Casino Key employee license identified as docket number 250143CK. Again, we have Senior Counsel Pipinelli to review that matter with you.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. For your consideration is the initial application of Kenneth Purnell Jr. for his Casino Key employee license. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Mr. Purnell was notified of today's proceedings. I just ask counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. On September 3rd, 2025, the division filed a report recommending that the application of Kenneth Purnell Jr. for Casino Key employee licensure be denied pursuant to Sections 80B, 80D, 89B1, and 89B2 of the Casino Control Act. Subsequently, the Commission at its September 10th, 2025 meeting remanded the matter to the contested case process. As advised by the Commission, Kenneth Purnell failed to submit the requisite hearing request form and comply with the contested case process. Therefore, based on the applicant's non-responsiveness and failure to comply with the contested case process, as well as the issues raised in the division's report, the division requests that Kenneth Purnell Jr.'s application for Casino Key employee licensure be denied. Thank you.
Again, the applicant is not present.
Correct.
Are there any questions for counsel on this matter?
No, sir.
No.
Is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I reviewed the memo of Senior Counsel and the reports from the division, and at this time, I make a motion to find Kenneth Purnell Jr. disqualified pursuant to NJSA 5:12-80B and D, NJSA 5:12-86, and NJSA 5:12-89, and deny his initial application for a Casino Key employee license.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item number 10 is consideration of the initial application of Alexa Hart for a Casino Key employee license identified as docket number 250165SI. Senior Counsel Pipinelli will review it with you.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission again. For your consideration is a stipulation of settlement for the initial application of Alexa Hart for her Casino Key employee license. If approved, Ms. Hart will be licensed through November of 2030, subject to the conditions in the stipulation. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Ms. Hart was advised of today's proceedings. I'd ask counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. You have the division's report along with the stipulation of settlement that has been entered with the applicant. The division respectfully requests that the stipulation be approved as submitted and recommends the granting of the applicant's Casino Key employee license, subject to the terms and conditions of the stipulation. Thank you.
Again, the applicant is not present.
Correct.
Are there any questions for council on this matter?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have reviewed the memo of senior counsel, the division's reports. I reviewed the stipulation. At this point, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and the applicant and grant the initial application of Alexa Hart for a Casino Key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 11 is consideration of the initial decision in the matter of the appeal of PM for removal from the self-exclusion list. Docket number 250063 AP. Senior Counsel Pimpinelli will address that with you.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing again for the Commission. For your consideration is the October 1, 2025 initial decision of hearing examiner Molyneux in this matter. You have the complete record, all of which is subject to the applicable confidentiality and privacy requirements. Appellant was notified of today's meeting. I would ask the division to enter its appearance and proceed, and I respectfully remind all parties that appellant's identity is confidential.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Deputy Attorney General Letitia Fishin appearing on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. At the outset, I would like to clarify the distinct effects of the land-based self-exclusion list and the internet self-exclusion list. The land-based self-exclusion list, once the patron places themselves on the land-based self-exclusion list, they are excluded then from patronizing any of the land-based casinos as well as internet, retail gaming and internet gaming. Now, exclusion from or placement on the internet self-exclusion only excludes an individual from internet gaming. The self-exclusion list was established in 2001 before internet gaming and sports wagering commenced in 2013 and 2018 respectively. Before internet gaming commenced, patrons were required to self-exclude in person and provide a number of physical characteristics, including their eye color, their height, their weight, their hair color, and other physical characteristics that might be helpful in identifying the person. The purpose of obtaining these physical characteristics were that, so if a self-excluded individual was present in the land-based casino, they could be identified based on those physical characteristics. Now, because patrons who engage in internet gaming can also do so from anywhere in New Jersey, including their own homes, obtaining their physical characteristics would not be helpful in identifying them if they were to be impermissibly engaging in online gaming. So, in order to identify an internet self-excluded patron, or someone who is impermissibly engaging in internet gaming, the division must rely on certain aspects that are obtained during its Know Your Customer process, and that's also called the KYC process. And so in the KYC process, we obtain a patron's social security number, their last name, their date of birth, and those are things that we can use to identify an internet self-excluded individual who might be gaming impermissibly online. So now when a patron chooses to place themselves on the internet self-exclusion list via the division's website, we require them to answer a number of randomly generated knowledge-based authentication questions, also known as KBA questions. And those questions are presented to them in order for the division to confirm the patron's identity before they place themselves on the division's self-exclusion list. The purpose of the knowledge-based authentication questions are to confirm that the person who is filling out the self-exclusion form is who they claim to be. Now, in instances such as we have here, where we have a patron who claims that another person self-excluded on their behalf without their knowledge or consent, the division typically interviews the person that the patron is claiming placed them on the self-exclusion list. Here, the division adhered to the appellant's request that we not interview the person that she claimed placed her on the self-exclusion list, understandably so. However, in the past, such interviews have led to a finding that a person who a patron claimed placed them on the self-exclusion list actually did not place them on the self-exclusion list. And with no other evidence to show that someone else placed them on the self-exclusion list, we would deny early removal from the self-exclusion list. Also, on the other hand, if the division's investigation revealed that there was an admission by a person stating that they did in fact place the patron on the self-exclusion list, then early removal would be allowed. As previously stated, the division does not require patrons who seek internet self-exclusion to submit their physical characteristics. If adopted, the reasoning set forth in the initial decision would cause an influx of self-exclusion appeals from internet self-excluded patrons under the impression that they may obtain removal from the internet self-exclusion list by claiming that they did not properly place themselves on the internet self-exclusion list because they did not submit their physical characteristics. Such a precedent could undermine the self-exclusion list and have risky effects, including potentially presenting a path to early removal to self-excluded patrons who have gambling problems. Based on the foregoing information, the division respectfully requests that the commission deny the appellant's request for early removal from the self-exclusion list. Thank you.
Any questions for council?
I do, but I'll defer to,
Go ahead.
is it Ms. Fishin?
That is correct.
Okay. My name's Mario Formica. I'm the newest member of the commission. It's nice to meet you. I have some questions for you. I don't know if you have everything in front of you that I have, but let me tell you what I'm going to be referencing. I don't know if I'm going to reference anything, everything. The division's May 1st, 2025 letter to appellant determining that she had placed herself on the self-exclusion list. I'm not going to be referring to appellant's case information statement. The division's June 10th, 2025 letter to the commission with attached statement of items, which I will be referring to. And the division's July 18th, 2025 letter to the commission with regard to this matter, the initial decision of appellant's appeal, the division's October 14th, 2025 letter to the CCC, which is its notice of exceptions. And although I don't think I'll be referring it, I have a copy of the hearing transcript. You think you'll be able to answer questions if I jump
Certainly.
around?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so if I understand correctly, the division alleged that PM self-excluded through the division's website, right?
That
It
is
wasn't a FanDuel, right? Okay. All right, let's go to your May 1st, 2025 correspondence to PM. Here's what you say. In your correspondence, you say that the division did investigation into the self-exclusion, correct?
That is correct.
Second full paragraph, I don't know if you have it in front of you.
I do.
You say that your investigation revealed that self-exclusion was completed in one attempt during which all the knowledge-based authentication questions were answered correctly, correct?
That is correct.
Help me out here. How are these questions generated?
So they are randomly generated. There's a,
Ran-
yeah, there is a pool of questions, and when a patron is going through the division's internet self-exclusion process, any one of those questions can be provided. If you have the statement of items in front of you, there
do.
is, yes.
So, let's go to that.
Okay,
Item number 5, it's entitled, "Screens depicting that PM passed all the presented knowledge-based authentication questions in one attempt." Now, even though item number 5 says screens, there's only one screen there, right?
yes, I was referring to the 2 pages
Yeah.
there, yes.
And it says, "Select the correct house number of the address you shared with blah, blah, blah." Is that the question?
So I'm looking at the bottom of the page for item number 5, and the text, the first one that I see there is, "Which of the following cities has never had a current or former association to you?"
Okay. You sure that's number 5 you're looking at, or number 6?
I'm looking at item number 5.
Right. Select the correct house number of the address you shared with name. That's what I have for number 5. Do you have that?
So that is, oh, you're looking at the third question.
All I can show you is this, item number 5, and I'm reading. Select the correct house number of the address you shared.
Yes, there's 2 other questions prior, but yes, this is one of the questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
The two, okay. Can you help me out with this one? I'm looking at the column that says status and it says pass. Does that mean that whoever filled this out answered it correctly?
That is correct.
Excellent. Now, here's where I found the other 2 questions, under item 6. So let's turn to item 6. It's the 4th and final page. And I got those questions on the bottom.
Item number 6 in the statement of items comprising the record.
So the question's on the bottom. Which of the following cities has never had a current or former association with you? Pass again, right?
That is correct.
And which of the following cities has a current or former association to you? Pass again.
That is correct.
And they were answered correctly.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to recap. The questions that were answered correctly were the ones which asked the house number of the person you live with, excluding the name, the city or cities where the person never lived, or the city or cities where the person lived or lived in the past. That's it?
That is correct, yes.
All right, let me ask you a question now. With all due respect, aren't the correct answers to those questions answers that a spouse or even a sibling would get correct? I know that my wife or my brother would get them correct.
Absolutely. They could be known to another individual.
Okay, but in your letter, you said, ha-ha, that proves that PM answered the questions correctly, or that she excluded because she answered 3 questions correctly.
Yes, so typically, when we have cases such as this, as I previously mentioned, we have the opportunity to interview the person that the patron is claiming self-excluded on their behalf.
I'm
And
getting to that.
unfortunate- Yeah.
I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about something else. Correspondence you sent to senior counsel dated July 18th, 2025.
I do not have that in front of me.
Well, I'll read it to you and see if this sounds correct. The last full paragraph, and this is your letter response to a request for the appellant's play records by senior counsel at the hearing. I read the transcript, which, by the way, at the hearing, you said you would reach out to your IT department and provide it. But in your July 18th letter, you wrote, and I quote, "The CCC must ground this division based on the hearing record in this matter, and because appellant's play history is not present in the record, it cannot now be supplemented with appellant's play history based on newly acquired investigative materials, as such would be contrary to the essential due process elements of notice and opportunity to be heard." Does that sound familiar?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Now, a couple of things. Due process, as I understand it, having been a criminal prosecutor for 23 years and a professor of constitutional law, isn't due process only implicated when the government is either taking your life, liberty, or your property?
That is correct.
Okay. And you would agree with me that nobody's going to jail here, right?
No.
Okay. And you would also agree with me that these hearings and determinations are not guided by a standard of proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
That is correct.
They're guided by administrative law. So let me read a couple portions of this administrative law. I'm going to start out with NJAC 1:1-15.1 entitled General Rules. And I quote, "Evidence rulings shall be made to promote fundamental fairness and justice and to aid in the ascertainment of truth." let me skip to NJAC 19:42A-4.3 subsection C. If at any time during the pendency of an appeal, and it says any time, it appears that evidence not adduced in the proceedings before the division may be material to the issues on appeal, the commission or its designated hearing examiner on its or his or her own motion or on the motion of any party may order on such terms as the commission or its designated hearing examiner deems appropriate that the record on appeal be supplemented by the taking of additional evidence and the making of findings. So, ma'am, with all due respect, would you now agree with me that the New Jersey Casino Control Commission has the absolute right to order that the record on appeal be supplemented?
So with this particular request, internal discussions occurred, and for the patron's entire play history, that is something that would have to be obtained from each of the operators with which that she gambled. And so that was the determination that came to the division not being able to supplement the record in this matter.
I understand, but you didn't answer it that way. You said the division can't supplement the record. Do you agree with me that the division can supplement the record if it were possible to get all those records?
From the discussions we had internally, it was decided that that is something that would have to be requested towards the casinos or any internet gaming platform.
All right, let's move on. One last question on this issue because the appellant denies self-excluding. Don't you think PM's internet gaming play record would have been relevant to the division's determination as to whether she was telling the truth that her husband self-excluded her? I mean, if you found that she lost $20 in 6 months, you might say to yourself, maybe she didn't self-exclude. But if you found that she lost $20,000 in 6 months, you might say, yeah, she self-excluded. Don't you think that would be relevant, her play history?
Of more confirmation that what the division uses to confirm whether or not a person self-excluded on their behalf, we take a look at the strong authentication that's used to determine whether the person is who they say they are. And I understand where you're coming from and where you're going with your argument. I do hear you. But as by regulation, we're required to confirm a request for removal or for a placement on the self-exclusion list, and that's obtained through submitting information such as a date of birth, social security number, and that's how the division confirms, and that's how we've confirmed other individuals who have attempted to place themselves on the internet self-exclusion list.
So are you telling me that the division thinks it's better to look at somebody's social security number than their play record when making a determination of credibility? Is that what you're saying?
By regulation, that is something that we've looked into consistently. Play records can be looked into. That could be another supplemental form of determining whether or not a person was the one who self-excluded on their behalf. But typically, we do look into the confirmation, and that's through the strong authentication, the KBA questions, and those details.
Thank you, ma'am. We're almost done. Promise. Going back to the first full paragraph, I don't know if you have your October 14th, 2025 exception letter.
I do.
Okay. First full paragraph. You write, "It was not until the present appeal ensued that the appellant revealed information about her ex-husband that the division could have used to independently identify and find her ex-husband and thus verify her claims."
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Now, let me direct your attention, I don't know if you have this, May 1st, 2025 correspondence, way before the present appeal ensued. Third full paragraph, the division actually identifies the ex-husband by name. And it is a unique name, maybe something out of Breaking Bad, if you know what I mean. The division identified him by name. So, I'm sitting in my office a couple weeks ago, and I Google that name. And I find no less than 9 phone numbers and addresses for the very person the division said they couldn't contact. Are you still of the opinion that it wasn't until the president appealed and sued that the division had the wherewithal to contact the husband?
Out of the respect for the appellant's request that we not reach out to her ex-husband,
That's different. That's different than what you wrote down. I understand what you're saying. All right, let me ask you this question. Is the division a law enforcement agency? You guys got guys and gals with guns there? No?
and guys.
Don't you have some state troopers working
Yes,
for you?
like straight troopers, yeah.
All right. 'Cause I'm puzzled about this. I'm puzzled when you wrote it in your letter. You said, because let's call her the victim here. Because the appellant said, don't contact my husband, the division said, okay, we're not going to contact him. I can't imagine, in 23 years of prosecuting cases at my office, if a victim's wishes to not contact somebody that could have relevant information, we would listen to that person. We wouldn't have prosecuted any cases. You know what I mean? So is that another regulation of the division? When an appellant says, don't contact my husband, you don't do it?
Not a regulation, however, we'd never want to put patrons in harm's way or at risk for any sort of harm. We don't know the details and the ins and outs of exactly why the appellant did not want us to contact her ex-husband. So we've refrained from doing so out of any potential safety concerns.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Any other questions for council?
For the record, we have requested the listing of the land-based exclusion list. So, we would like to have that list sent to us
Certainly,
of the land base.
certainly.
That's all.
That's all you have, thank you. And for the record, PM is not here.
Correct.
Is there a motion?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Before I make my motion, I want to read something to clarify the initial decision. In its exceptions, the division complained that the initial decision focused on the lack of personally identifiable information to find that appellant was improperly placed on the self-exclusion list. I understand the division's arguments that signing up for internet self-exclusion list does not require any personally identifiable information, but it would be unfair to ignore the reality of how the internet self-exclusion list is implemented. Specifically, those who place themselves on the self-exclusion list are frequently, I'm talking about internet, frequently also prohibited from brick and mortar casinos, not just in Atlantic City, but throughout the world for the period of self-exclusion. So how can a brick and mortar casino ban someone from their premises without knowing their personally identifiable information? I submit they cannot. Okay. As the initial decision made clear, however, based on the specific facts of this case, which include appellant's candor and truthfulness during her testimony, as well as the method that was used to place appellant on the self-exclusion list, the hearing examiner found that it was unlikely that appellant placed herself on the self-exclusion list. Quite honestly, even if appellant's personally identifiable information had been included, it is conceivable, if not likely, that the hearing examiner would have still found that it was unlikely appellant placed herself on the self-exclusion list, given the credibility findings which she made pursuant to NJAC 1:1-18.6C. Cannot be disturbed unless it is clear after reviewing the record that such credibility findings are arbitrary, capricious, or unreasonable, or are not supported by sufficient competent and credible evidence. So, having reviewed the entire record in this matter, and along with the answers to the questions I have posed this morning, I submit that the hearing examiner provided sufficient, competent, and credible evidence to conclude that appellant's testimony was credible. And I concur with the conclusion that there is insufficient evidence to conclude that appellant placed herself on the self-exclusion list. Therefore, I move to adopt the initial decision and find that appellant demonstrated that she did not intentionally place herself on the division self-exclusion list as required by NJAC 13:69G-2.2C, and grant her request to be removed from the division self-exclusion list prior to the imposed April 12th, 2028 expiration date. That's my motion.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 13 is consideration, oops, I'm sorry. Item number 12 is consideration of the initial decision in the matter of the appeal of MS for removal from the self-exclusion list. That is docket number 250124AP. Again, you have Senior Counsel Pinelli who will review that with you.
Chairman, Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. My last matter for you this morning is the October 3rd, 2025 initial decision of hearing examiner for Mika in this matter. You have the complete record, all of which is subject to the applicable confidentiality and privacy requirements. Appellant was notified of today's meeting. I respectfully remind all parties appellant's identity is confidential. I would ask the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Gina Dianantis, Deputy Attorney General, appearing on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division at this time requests that the full commission adopt the initial decision rendered on October 3rd, 2025, allowing the appellant to remain on the self-exclusion list for the remainder of her term. Thank you.
Any questions for council?
No, sir.
No.
Again, for the record, MS is not present.
Correct.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I obviously have reviewed the entire record. It was my decision, and I move to adopt the initial decision and find that appellant failed to demonstrate that she did not intentionally place herself on the division self-exclusion list as required by NJAC 13:69G-2.2C and deny her request to be removed from the division self-exclusion list prior to our March 25th, 2026 expiration date.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
sir.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, with council's request and with your permission, item 13 will be called at the end of the agenda.
Yes.
The next item for your consideration is number 14, consideration of the initial Casino Key employee licensure and plenary qualification of Francis T. Donahoe to serve as Vice President and Chief Compliance Officer for HR Atlantic City, LLC. Make sure I got them all in. SRHE, one second, give me a second, because the agenda only says related entities, but there is a request to make sure that the record reflects the actual holding companies, and they would include. Oh, yeah, thank you. Okay. They would include HR Atlantic City LLC, Seminole, HR Holdings LLC, HRE, SHRI LLC, and Seminole Hard Rock Entertainment, Inc. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 0692503, dated March 10, 2025, seeking as indicated the temporary qualification and temporary key licensure for Mr. Donahoe to perform the duties as indicated. You considered the matter at your April 9, 2025 public meeting and granted his temporary key license and temporary qualification as reflected in Commission Resolution number 25040913. The division's plenary report was submitted for your consideration on October 23. You are now asked to consider his initial licensure and plenary qualification. And with your permission, Mr. Chairman, believe counsel for the licensee is via Zoom, and counsel for the division is present. And with your permission, I'd ask that they enter their appearances and proceed.
Lindsay Krowitz, counsel for Frank Donahue, who's also present.
Can we turn her mic up?
Uh,
Is that on our end?
Are you better able to hear me now?
There you go. Okay.
Lindsay Krowitz from Box Rothschild for Frank Donahue, who's also present on the call, or via Zoom.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Deputy Attorney General Jordan Hollander on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
Counsel, please proceed.
We've reviewed the draft resolution and request that the Casino Control Commission adopt it as written.
The Commission has the Division's letter dated October 23rd, 2025, recommending the plenary casino key employee licensure and qualification with the residency waiver for Mr. Donahue. The Division has also reviewed the draft resolution and has no objections. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Donahue, would you like to address the commission?
Chairman and Commissioners, Frank Donahue, thank you for your time
I
today.
have to swear you in there, sir. Darrell?
Okay.
Mr. Donahue, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Francis Donahue.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceed,
Thank you.
sir.
Yes, again, just thank you for your time and staff's time and consideration today. It's greatly appreciated.
Any questions for counsel or for the applicant?
No, sir.
Yes,
I-
I have a question.
I'm sorry.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Mr. Donahue, as I read, it states that you travel back and forth to Florida when needed. So will you be traveling to Atlantic City when we need you? My concern is based with Atlantic City and you're traveling. Will this be done the same way or more so? We would like the traveling to be done in Atlantic City.
Yeah, so Commissioner, I work remotely actually out of Pennsylvania, and I do travel to the corporate offices in Florida. And obviously will be available to travel to Atlantic City, and I do participate in compliance related calls for the Atlantic City property, as well as property quarterly compliance calls, but absolutely available.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
No, sir.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've reviewed the memorandum of general counsel, the division's letter, the resolution, and at this time I move to adopt the draft resolution, grant an initial casino key employee license to Francis Donahue with a waiver of residency requirement pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89B, and find that Mr. Donahue is qualified to serve as Vice President and Chief Compliance Officer for HR Atlantic City LLC, Seminole HR Holdings LLC, SHRE, SHRI LLC, and Seminole Hard Rock Entertainment Incorporated, in accordance with NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6 and 2.7.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Formica?
Yes.
Commissioner Molyneux?
Yes.
And Chairman Pelosi?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you both. Item number 15 is the joint petition of Marina District Development Company, LLC, doing business as Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa, and MGM Resorts International for Aisha Molino, to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Chief Operating Officer of MGM Resorts International, pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 2962504, dated October 23, 2025, seeking commission approval to permit Ms. Molino to assume the duties identified as Chief Operating Officer for MGM Resorts. You have counsel for the petitioners present, as well as counsel for the division. And with your permission, I ask that they enter their appearances and proceed.
Good morning, Chairman and members of the Commission. C.J. Fisher, partner with Fox Rothschild, appearing on behalf of the joint petitioners, MGM Resorts International and Marina District Development Company, LLC, doing business as Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Tracy Richardson, Deputy Attorney General for the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
Chairman and Commissioners, before you is MGM and Borgata's petition requesting the temporary qualification of Ms. Aisha Molino to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Chief Operating Officer of MGM Resorts International. I've reviewed the draft resolution and have no objections to its form or substance. I respectfully request that the Commission approve the draft resolution and grant temporary qualification to Ms. Molino. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman and Commissioners. The division filed a letter of no objection to the request for temporary qualification for Aisha Molino on November 7th, 2025. We've also reviewed the draft resolution and have no objections. Thank you.
Any questions for council on this matter?
No, sir.
I have a statement.
Yes.
Well, actually, yeah, it is a statement. It seems she has a very interesting background here. She worked with the Senate Majority Leader, Harry Reid, who definitely did make a name for himself. So she has an interesting background. I did read all of that and was quite interested in reading it. Thank you.
Is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have reviewed the memo of General Counsel, the joint petition, the division's letter of no objection, and I move to adopt the draft resolution and authorize Aisha Molino on a temporary basis and prior to her plenary qualification to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Chief Operating Officer for MGM Resorts International, subject to the conditions contained in NJAC 13:69C -2.7C3 and D.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Formica?
Yes.
Commissioner Molyneux?
Yes.
And Chairman Pelosi?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, can I skip to item 18, since it involves both of the same council?
Yes.
Number 18 is joint petition of Marina District Development Company, LLC, doing business as Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa, and MGM Resorts International for Brandon Dardo to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Regional President of Operations of MGM Resorts International, pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 3092501, dated November 5, 2025, seeking your approval for Mr. Dardo to serve in the capacity of Regional President of Operations for MGM Resorts. You received a response from the division this morning. Counsel for the parties are here, and I ask that they enter their appearances and speak to the issue directly to the commission.
Good morning again, Chairman and Commissioner. C.J. Fisher, partner with Fox Rothschild, on behalf of the joint petitioners, MGM and Borgata.
Good morning again, Chairman and Commissioners. Tracy Richardson, Deputy Attorney General for the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
Before you is the Borgata and MGM's joint petition requesting the temporary qualification of Mr. Brandon Dardo to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Regional President of Operations for MGM Resorts International. I have reviewed the draft resolution and have no objection to its form or substance, and respectfully request that you approve the resolution and grant temporary qualification to Mr. Dardo. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman and Commissioners. As Ms. Fauntleroy mentioned, we were able to file a response of no objection this morning when we received the final piece of the preliminary checks for Mr. Dardo. So thank you for allowing this matter to move forward on your agenda as listed today. We've also reviewed the draft resolution and have no objections. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council on this matter?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I reviewed the memo of General Counsel, the petition, division's letter today, voicing no objection, the draft resolution. And I move to adopt the draft resolution and authorize Brandon Dardo on a temporary basis and prior to his plenary qualification to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Regional President of Operations for MGM Resorts International, subject to the conditions contained in NJAC 13:69C-2.7C and D.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
sir.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now we return to item number 16, which is the petition of Golden Nugget Atlantic City LLC, doing business as Golden Nugget Atlantic City, for the issuance of a temporary casino key employee license to Shane Thompson pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89E, and to permit him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Vice President of Strategic Marketing and Analysis of Golden Nugget Atlantic City LLC, pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by a petition dated October 24, 2025, PRN 3002502, seeking the temporary licensure and qualification of Mr. Thompson to perform the duties indicated as Vice President of Strategic Marketing and Analysis for Golden Nugget Atlantic City. You have counsel for the licensee available via Zoom, Pat Agnolini, and you have counsel for the division present. And with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I ask that they enter their appearances and speak to the matters directly.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the Commission, Pacifico Agnolini, Brownstein, Hyatt, Farber, Schreck, on behalf of Shane Thompson and Golden Nugget Atlantic City LLC.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners, Deputy Attorney General Jordan Hollander, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
Before you today is a petition seeking the issuance of a temporary casino key employee license for Shane Thompson, as well as permission for him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Vice President of Strategic Marketing and Analysis for Golden Nugget Atlantic City LLC. We have reviewed the draft resolution, we have no comments, and we would ask that you approve same. Thank you.
The Commission has the Division's response of no objection dated November 27, 2025 to the requested relief. The Division has also reviewed the draft resolution and has no objection. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council on this matter?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have reviewed the memo of General Counsel, Division's correspondence of no objection, the draft resolution. At this time, I move to approve the petition and issue a temporary casino key employee license to Shane Thompson pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89B4, NJSA 5:12-89E, NJAC 19:41A-5.3, and permit him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Vice President of Strategic Marketing and Analysis for Golden Nugget Atlantic City LLC, pending plenary qualification, and in accordance with the conditions contained in NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 17 is a resolution of the Casino Control Commission acknowledging the 30th anniversary of the Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission.
In 1995, the United States Virgin Islands authorized casino gaming in St. Croix. The United States Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission was created to license and regulate the new industry and protect it from the influence of criminal activity and foster public confidence and trust in legalized casino gaming. For 30 years, the New Jersey Casino Control Commission and the United States Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission have had a special relationship. Our agencies share similar roles and objectives, and we have worked collaboratively over the years to advance our common interest. Most notably, our agency here provided training in 1999, 2002, and 2010 to help prepare the number of Virgin Islands' newly hired casino regulators. Judge Susan Maven, former vice chair of the New Jersey Casino Control Commission, is traveling to St. Croix as we speak to mark this occasion. She has graciously offered to present the United States Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission with a formal resolution and a commemorative plaque on behalf of the New Jersey Casino Control Commission. The plaque contains gaming chips that were used in training sessions with the United States Virgin Islands staff. It is a fitting representation of the history and the respect that both commissions have for each other's agency. It is now my honor and pleasure to make a motion that we adopt a resolution that I will read shortly in regards to this 30th anniversary. Whereas on November 3rd, 1995, Bill 2127, known as the Virgin Island Casino Resort Control Act of 1995, landmark legislation that authorized casino resorts to stimulate the economy of St. Croix. Whereas the act established the Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission to provide regulatory oversight of the gaming industry by assuring good character, honesty, and integrity of all licensed operators and employees and related businesses. Whereas since 1995, the New Jersey Casino Control Commission has maintained a collaborative partnership with the Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission, and under the leadership of its first chairperson, the late Honorable Eileen Peterson, provided training to its newly hired regulatory personnel. Whereas on December 2nd, 1998, the Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission issued its first license to Treasure Bay Corporation on March 14th, 2000. Whereas the Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission engages in training, educational conferences, and continuous study to remain informed regarding current regulatory practices, including the promotion of responsible gaming through the launch of the March 2025 PlayWise website. Whereas the Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission efforts have created a safe and secure environment for casino gaming. Whereas the dedicated employees and the leadership of the Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission are to be commended for their professionalism and commitment to their mission over the years. Now, therefore, it be resolved, the New Jersey Casino Control Commission, that we do hereby recognize the 30th anniversary of the Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission and applaud its invaluable contribution to the Virgin Islands economy and its citizens. Further, be resolved that this resolution be presented to the chairman and members of the Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission, and a copy placed in our records as a commemoration of this special occasion, signed by Commissioner Molyneux, Commissioner Formica, and myself. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And I think we have some public comment in regards to this resolution.
Chairman Plosas, Commissioner Molyneux, Commissioner Formica, just bear with me a couple minutes. This is an interesting time. I need to go back a little bit in time.
What's your name on the record?
Oh, Lloyd Levinson, Cooper Levinson, sorry. I need to go back to actually 1982, 81, when I finished my duty as Chief Assistant Prosecutor in the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office and and joined the firm, which was then known as Cooper Persky. Jim Cooper said, "We don't have a lot of casino business. Why don't you go out to this conference in Las Vegas and bring back a bunch of business?" And I said, uh-oh. And I looked it up. It was the World Gaming Congress back then. Now it's the G2E. And they had, every year, about 25,000 people show up. I didn't and wouldn't know a soul there. But I tell you this as sort of instruction to some of the younger lawyers who might want to take a piece of my history. And I sat next to, on the airplane, a fellow named Carl Zeitz, who some of you may have heard of. He was a casino control commissioner many years ago and was known as one of the toughest casino control commissioners. He actually is one of the two that voted against Hilton to get a license. I didn't know him, but as fate would have it, we sat next to each other on the plane. And I spent 5.5 hours on the way to Las Vegas. We talked the whole time. We got to Las Vegas. We actually hung out together, and some casino in-house lawyers saw that, who had had some difficulties with Mr. Commissioner Zeitz because he was so tough. So they just concluded that, well, Lloyd must know Commissioner Zeitz, so maybe we'll take a chance with him. And that's how I started in the casino business. And that's where I developed a saying, which is, quote, "You never know." Now, fast forward to about 30 years ago, I was giving a speech at the World Gaming Congress, and afterwards, a woman came up to see me. Her name was Imelda Dixon, and she said, "I'm from the Virgin Islands, from St. Croix, and we're thinking of passing legislation commencing casino gaming. Can you answer a few questions for me?" And so I said in my brain, you never know. So I proceeded for many months to give her advice and didn't charge a penny. And as luck would have it, I then was retained officially to write their legislation, to write their regulations, to write their applications, and to testify before the legislature. And so it's ironic that today, which is the first day actually I've appeared before the Casino Control Commission, except for one prior occasion in a few years, actually, because I have people that work in my firm that do that. And then I saw it on the agenda, and I then looked back and saw the article in the magazine from 30 years ago, which looks more like my son than I. And so I just wanted to say it was a pleasure working with Judge Peterson, who I'm sorry that probably none of you met. And she was a wonderful woman, a great jurist, and a great first chairwoman of the Casino Control Commission, St. Croix. So I congratulate our commission for congratulating the Virgin Islands. Wonderful people, very, very nice time in my life. And you know, when you get to go down there for a few days and you extend the stay for 3 or 4 more days, it's not like going to Alaska. You know, you go to St. Croix, it's not bad. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Levinson, that was a nice history lesson in regards to the Virgin Islands. Thank you. Is there a motion?
Yes, I thought you made the motion, but I will make the motion to adopt the draft resolution. And congrats to the Virgin Island casino industry.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Item number 13 is consideration of the initial casino key employee licensure and plenary qualification of Travis T. Truong to serve as Vice President, Asian Marketing for Marina District Development Company, LLC, doing business as Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. This matter was initiated by petition dated December 27, 2024, PRN 3622402, by Marina District Development Company, LLC, seeking the temporary casino key employee licensure and temporary qualification of Mr. Truong to permit him to serve as indicated Vice President, Asian marketing for the licensee, Marina District Development Company LLC. You considered the petition at your January 8, 2025 public meeting and granted the petitioner's request for temporary key licensure and temporary qualification as reflected in Commission Resolution Number 250-10812. The matter was scheduled for plenary consideration at the October 8, 2025 public meeting, but adjourned with the Commission's consent as reflected in Chairman Order 25100814A, extending Mr. Truong's temporary key licensure and qualification through today's public meeting. You have counsel for Mr. Truong as well as counsel for the division present, and with your permission, I ask that they enter their appearances and address the Commission directly regarding the matter.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Lloyd Levinson from Cooper Levinson on behalf of Travis Trump, who's sitting next to me.
Good morning again, Chairman and Commissioners. Tracy Richardson, Deputy Attorney General for the Division of Gaming Enforcement.
I forgot how low this chair is.
Yeah, they don't rise up either.
No, they don't. So, okay, so Travis Strong is sitting next to me and is obviously prepared to answer any questions, but I would like to, if I could, first mark into evidence the character letters that I produced to the commission and Ms. Richardson previously as P1, and any objection to that?
No.
And then P2, the supplemental letter dated October 31, 2025.
No objection.
So just for the record, the character letters.
1 second,
I'm sorry.
Mr. Levinson. Commissioners, you have what he's referencing?
Yes.
P1, character letters, 7 individual character letters. P2, Mr. Levinson's letter of October 31, 2025. Is there a motion with respect, seeing that there's no objection, is there a motion with respect to moving those items into the record?
I move to have those items entered into the record.
Do we have a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Levinson's going first.
May I begin? I'm sorry, did you enter your appearance? I forgot. Yes, okay, all right. So the character letters that were submitted, I think tell an amazing story about Travis Strong. Jason Lyons, who is who he reports to, who's been a key employee licensee in Atlantic City for approximately 25 years, writes that he finds him to be a person of high character, honesty, and integrity. He never gives Jason a moment of pause or any reason to question his morals or decision-making. He's well-respected by all departments on property. I trust Travis, and I know I can count on him to do the right thing. Mario Palandinetti, who's the Executive Director of Relationship Marketing at Borgata, said he's known him for 4 years, both in and out of work. He has demonstrates integrity, empathy, respect for others, can always be relied on to act with honesty and care. He's also incredibly generous with his time and support, always willing to help family, friends, or colleagues in need. We move on to Danielle Armananti, who's the Director of Player Development at Seminole Hard Rock in Florida. She says she's known him for 8+ years, and she's experienced nothing but a paramount level of professionalism, honesty, integrity, and a strong attention to detail of the fiscal financial responsibilities he was entrusted with in growing the Asian business, not only at our Tampa location, but across all of Seminole Gaming in the state of Florida. She can equivocally say that he's a trusted individual, and the Casino Control Commission has nothing to be apprehensive about in granting him a casino key license to operate in the state of New Jersey. Brian Phillips, who's the Vice President of Corporate Player Development at Seminole Hard Rock. By the way, Mr. Travis worked at Seminole Hard Rock down in Florida for about 11 years. He says that he was consistently impressed by his reliability, strong work ethic, and positive attitude. He's highly dependable, hardworking professional who consistently goes above and beyond. He brings a level of integrity, accountability, and genuine care for others that truly set him apart. Jason Su says it's his pleasure to enthusiastically recommend Travis. Jason Su is the Director of Asian Programming at MGM Borgata. He talks about what Travis has done since he's been there for the last almost year. He's led initiatives that improved Asian gaming operations and opened the new luxury gaming space for Borgata, 51 new tables, 5 private gaming salons, and an Asian-themed area that feels more cinematic than conventional. His leadership on these efforts have resulted in enhanced guest experiences, increased patronage, and measurable revenue growth. His combination of strategic vision and operational execution make these projects successful and well-regarded across the entire MGM organization. In addition to his technical skills such as integrity, he exhibits qualities such as integrity, reliability, and a positive attitude, which contribute to a healthy and productive work environment. Brett Freeman, who's Director of Strategic Marketing at Rivers Casino in Pennsylvania, says he enthusiastically endorses his personal character, honesty, and integrity. It's truly exemplary. In every situation, I observed him acting with the highest ethical standards and driven decision-making abilities. I always knew I could rely on his word and trust his judgment completely, even when he handled the most sensitive internal matters or guest information. He was an unwavering positive influence on team morale, performance, and culture. Any organization or gaming jurisdiction seeking a candidate defined by unwavering ethics and trustworthiness would be fortunate to have him. And lastly, Brendan Chen, Executive Director of International Marketing at Borgata, said he's known Travis since around 2015. We worked together first at Hard Rock in Florida and currently colleagues at Borgata. Over the years, I've known Travis to be a person of exceptional character, professionalism, and integrity. What stands out most about Travis is his sincerity and accountability. Whether faced with routine duties or challenging situations, he always acts with transparency and a strong moral compass. His professionalism and integrity reflect great credit on both himself and the organization he represents. I read these, and I can say that I had no part in any of the drafting of these. You know, a lot of times, attorneys, and there's nothing wrong with it, get involved with character letters. Sometimes I've seen attorneys even almost write them for people, and they sign them. I never gave one word to any of these people. They wrote them all by themselves. They typed them all by themselves, and I think it speaks volumes about Travis. By the way, one of them was talking about the new Borgata initiative with the 51 new tables. Travis would tell you that before he got to Borgata was number 2 in Baccarat. Through all the initiatives, the marketing initiatives, and what he's done, as was set forth by the individual that said this, that he has now made the space at Borgata, the Asian marketing space, more cinematic than anybody's ever seen. He would be proud to tell you himself that before he got there, one of the goals was for Borgata to become number 1. He's been there 10 months, and Borgata is number 1 in Asian marketing and Baccarat. So it's a testament to his ability, in addition to all the fine comments about his background and his integrity. I know that it's one of the strangest positions I've ever been in. I've been doing this for 40 years. Normally, the Division of Game Enforcement and I don't agree. And you have seen some of the matters over the years, or at least the chairman has. You know, they object to a client of mine, and I come here and argue that they're wrong and they ought to be supportive, and the commission ought to be supportive. I win some, I lose some, or whatever. Here I am, I think it's the first time I've ever been here, where there are some questions, I know, but where the division and we are of the same position. The division has recommended Travis for a license. I obviously agree with that. They pointed out some issues in their letter, but they agree. And it's been 10 months of the division investigation culminating in Ms. Richardson conducting a sworn interview. And I don't know how much you guys and gals know about Tracy Richardson, but I've known her for, I don't know, 20 years? How long have you been in the division? Not yet? Close to it? No? 14 years. She is, she's an amazing interrogator. She's thorough. The people that she had working as investigators, George Clark and Courtney Riley, I mean, they are, to say it mildly, no slouches when it comes to investigation. They spoke to him, met with him 4 times during the last year. Now, that's a physical meeting. They also, and I just brought this, and I apologize for being politically incorrect and having printed out all the emails, because I needed to read them, and I read them much easier when they're printed out. But there's about 500 emails back and forth between George, Courtney, and Travis. They got so deep into his life and to his background and to his family's background, which we have no objection to that. But I just wanted to make it clear that this was not some investigation, investigation light. It was far from it. They did their job, culminating in the sworn interview that Ms. Richardson conducted, and came up with a recommendation that they believe that Travis is someone that can be trusted moving forward as a key employee in this industry. It's always been and always will be, for your part, a predictive world. In other words, you're going to have to predict based on past, based on the character letters and the like, predict whether Travis is the kind of person that will follow the rules and follow the law. He's certainly shown in the 10 months that he's been at Borgata that he's done an exemplary job, both in his job itself and the way he manages people and is managed by people. There are certain things that have been brought up. One has to understand the Vietnamese culture, the Asian culture, which is different from mine and different from probably everybody in this room. They have certain superstitions. They have certain beliefs in who should be trusted with the money. They have certain beliefs about cash and certain distrusts over many, many centuries of putting money outside of their control, cash money. And so there's a lot of questions you may have. I know that some things sound strange a little bit, by virtue of the fact that he gave cash to people that he'd known for many, many years, who used to put on and still do, put on concerts at the Seminole places in Florida. He became very close friends with them. They're Vietnamese. They needed money because COVID had come, and it affected detrimentally their business. He felt some obligation because they put on shows at the Seminole Hard Rock, which enabled him to have his players come to the casino, and it inured to his benefit because they played at the casino, but it was because of the concert. COVID came and practically ruined their concert promotion business, and he was asked if he could help them out. The Vietnamese community is extremely tight. And although he, quote, invested in it, he was unsure that he'd ever get any return on investment. He was doing it because he was helping out people from his community who had helped him out over the years. And you may say, since he got no money back from that, why did he do it again? You can ask him, but he will tell you that he did it again. Sure, he would have liked to get some return on investment, but he was helping out people that he had been close with and helped him out over the years. And the third time, he decided to throw just a little bit of money in, and when it came to the fourth time, he said no. But as you listen to the character letters and you read them, you can understand what was in Travis's heart by helping these people. You know, that's the kind of person he is. And, you know, he had a job, he was getting paid. These friends were concert promoters. They couldn't get people into the concert halls because of COVID or the aftermath of COVID, so he lent a helping hand. You know, there's been talk about the fact that he made cash deposits into the bank, and it was close to the $10,000 threshold for the Bank Secrecy Act to fill out forms. He's not denying that he knows of the Bank Secrecy Act. He worked for 11 years in marketing at the hotels down in Florida, so he knows all about that. But he will tell you that in the Asian, particularly the Vietnamese culture, the number 9 is the lucky number. He was telling me this morning that if he did a promotion, and the promotion was that you could win $500,000 and it goes out to the Vietnamese community, nobody would participate in the promotion because it had a 5 and a 0 and a 0. But if it was 499, he couldn't keep them out of the hotel. I mean, that's how serious they take the number 9. And it's not just me or him saying it. We produced a letter that's in evidence which talks about that, you know, that is the Vietnamese, and maybe all of Asian, I'm not sure, but it's a lucky number. They're very superstitious people, and so that's another area that you might be interested in hearing from him about. His background, I mean, what's clear when we put in our October 31st letter was it's a Vietnamese, a tight-knit community, and it's a tight-knit family he has of several sisters. When his father passed away, it became his obligation to be the person who managed the finances in the family. That's not just the decision of the sisters, that is something from Vietnamese culture, deeply rooted in a male sibling holding financial responsibility over the family. And so, you know, he has older sisters. He's the youngest, but he's the oldest responsible male in the family, and that's what they entrusted him with, giving him money, and he kept it in a safe, because that's what they do. I don't keep a lot of cash in a safe. You probably don't keep a lot of cash in a safe. They do. It's part of their history. Goes back centuries. And then there's no adverse inference that should be drawn because he keeps a lot of cash in the safe. He used credit cards most of the time, and then his family paid him back in cash, and so then he put it in the safe. He used credit cards because he could get 2% off and 1% off and sometimes 3% off by using the credit card, and that's how he amassed all the cash. He also amassed all the cash because he started working when he was a preteen, and he lived with the family, the very close-knit family, so he didn't pay rent. Sometimes he contributed utilities and things like that. So saving rent over years and years and years, he just put that amount of money into his safe. I'll leave you with one last thing, and then hopefully, you'll have questions for Travis. But he did amend his tax returns when they found that he had not included some interest income and the like, and amended his return. And I'll just leave you and turn you over to Travis with this. And Ms. Richardson doesn't even know this, I just found out about it while I was sitting here, is that he just got a letter from the Internal Revenue Service returning his money and said he overpaid it. I don't know if he did, if he didn't, but it's sort of an interesting end to my part of this. So I leave you, if you would, to ask any questions of Travis. There's no answer that he can give that will trouble me, because I've spent days, now weeks with him, and I hope you will grant his plenary license.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman and Commissioners. Based on its full investigation, the division provided the commission with information and details, as well as our conclusions through its report filed with you on October 2nd, 2025, which recommends the plenary casino key employee licensure and qualification of Travis Trong. As you know, we don't have a draft resolution that we reviewed today, pending your questions, deliberation, and determination that you may have today. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so, Mr. Chairman, if I could just comment. I understand that there are questions for Mr. Trong. Be advised that we did discuss in closed session the sensitivity of the division's report. It is not part of the record. So be mindful with respect to opening up the opportunity to ask Mr. Trong questions, could very well implicate that.
Yeah, and I respect that, Ms. Fauntleroy. But even if we went to a hearing, that report gets admitted in the hearing process.
Yes.
Normally. So whether it's now or it's 2 months from now, it's going to come out, and there's nothing in there that we're afraid of. So, please ask questions of Travis if you have them.
Yep, I just wanted to make sure that, the
Yeah, no.
contested case process is certainly different than a public meeting process, and your client would be entitled to that opportunity.
I thank you.
Okay.
Are there questions for Travis?
I have a question for the attorney for the division first.
Okay, please be seated, sir.
Ma'am, are you of the opinion that some of Mr. Trong's answers to questions about his finances were that they defied logic?
Commissioner, that is what's indicated in the report in some instances, but on balance of the information that we obtained, the explanations that were given, deliberation of the division with itself, review of all the records in this matter, we reached the conclusions that we set forth with you in the report.
Okay. And yet, some of his answers were vague also, right? So vague, defied logic, but on balance of everything, he should get his license, right?
The report speaks for itself, sir, yes.
You can't answer my question?
I can, I want to refrain as much as I can from
Okay.
putting in the confidential report into this
Well,
public record
I was
today.
asking for your opinion, not, okay, thank you.
The opinion is the report, sir. Thank you.
Questions for is it Trong, Mr. Trong?
Mr. Trump, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Travis Strung of Borgata.
Good morning, sir.
You can say seated.
I was going to ask you this question, but your lawyer already told me that you know what a currency transaction report is, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Under federal law, it's a report that must be filed by a banking institution with the U.S. Treasury Department when that institution transacts with an individual on a single day of more than $10,000, right?
Correct, yes.
You also know that New Jersey casinos are required to file CTRs too for transactions over 10,000.
Correct, yes.
More than 2 decades ago, in my prior career, I was a craps and blackjack table supervisor, and I can clearly recall from the pit, paperwork had to be done and sent to the Treasury Department when players would get over $10,000 markers. Is that your experience too?
Yes,
And your resume indicates you've been in the casino marketing since 2015, and I imagine that included bringing high rollers to casinos, having them spend their money, right?
yes,
And you advise them that over 10,000, they're going to do a CTR on you, right?
yes.
Now, so would I be correct that in September and November of 2024, when you made a number of single deposits of $9,500, $9,000 on separate days into your banking institution, you certainly were aware of the CTR requirement, right?
Yes,
But you're saying that you didn't deposit over $10,000 because nine's a lucky number?
correct, yes. My intention throughout all of that, right? As you have mentioned, right, in detail, I was with the casino industry for a very long time. I was also an ally of our compliance department, helping with any kind of reporting or actions of that, right? When I was depositing that money, right, the intention was to eventually transfer into my high-yield savings account. The goal of that was to just gain interest out of it. My decision to deposit was mainly based on the number 9 because of my culture, my background, my history, right? And I've been doing this for over 10 years now. It's kind of ingrained in myself of the marketing and everything we've done and kind of contributed to players. For myself, right, I do believe in luck. I do believe in chance. Anything that I can do to kind of push it in my favor, I will do it, right? That's the reason my number in soccer during high school was the number 9. That's the reason why, like, the year I was born, my parents considered myself very lucky, the number 88. Both the numbers 8 and 9 are very lucky in Asian culture. And it's not just something that my family does. It's every kind of Asian family throughout the nation and the world.
How come you didn't write any checks for $9,999? Wouldn't that be luckier?
I didn't write any checks, but I did receive checks from my sisters for 9,000. So it's very commonplace in my family to use that number, right? Like, even we're giving away red envelopes, we try to use that number as well too.
I mean, you deposited amounts of $9,000 and $9,500, right?
Yes,
Why didn't you deposit amounts of $9,999? That would seem luckier to me.
it would if I had the bills available, right? I was just trying to deposit it in bills.
Okay. Your brother Truck, he's Vietnamese too?
That would be my sister,
Oh, your sister?
yes.
Is she superstitious also?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay, because, didn't she give you checks, but none of them were for $9,000? In fact, they were from amounts from $1,000 to $22,000.
Correct.
So she didn't subscribe to the 9 stuff?
She was just giving to me whatever she had available at the time, right? So the purpose of her giving me money was for me to hold on for her, and she would write checks from her account to me directly during that time.
Okay, thanks a lot.
No other questions, sir?
No, sir.
Commissioner Milano?
No, I may ask the wrong thing. all the time.
I just want to say a few words about the division. Their background checks are very thorough. I have top secret clearance. I've had top secret clearance for the last 15 years. And the due diligence that the division does on a background check is more than top secret clearance. When you get top secret clearance, they don't review your income tax or your state income tax. They make sure you pay them, but they don't review them item for item. So I do want to say that in my experience with 40 years in law enforcement, at a variety of levels, the Division of Gaming Enforcement does a terrific job in regards to background investigations. So, any other comments?
No, sir.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Sir, I do have a motion. I have a motion to remand for a hearing Travis Trung's initial casino employee license application and qualification, and grant an extension of Mr. Trung's temporary casino key license and qualifications for 90 days or upon the resolution of the contested case proceeding, whichever occurs first.
Do we have a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Commissioner Formica,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
I will prepare the appropriate order at the conclusion of the meeting and share it with council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In accordance with Resolution 24111203, the next closed session shall be held on Wednesday, December 10, 2025, at 9:30 a.m. in the Commission offices.
This is the public participation portion of the meeting. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak?
Yes. Yes, I would like to speak.
Yes, please come to the table, and you'll have to state your name and be sworn in.
My name is Carmen Turner. I'm a resident here at Atlantic City for 14 years now. I'm also used to be a substitute teacher in Atlantic City and worked in Philadelphia. I'm from Philly originally and was a teacher there as well.
I'm just commenting that for the public portion, no swearing in is required. Yeah.
Okay.
You can sit down. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, I may want to stand up. Okay.
Okay.
But can I write?
You can,
The
whichever
reason-
one is
Yeah.
comfortable for you.
Okay, the reason I'm here is because an incident occurred at Bally's Casino October 4th, all right? And I have written a letter to the DGE, okay? I wrote a letter to the DGE. I think they got it around October 10th. And the representative for DGE, is she here? Mary Jo Flattery or something? Is she here?
She's not here. She's on remotely.
Okay, because I'd like to ask a question, first of all, because I need to know the DGE's position for a complaint for a, patron that's a player at the casino. I mean, what exactly do they do?
So,
Can
ma'am,
anybody answer that?
the public portion comment is not a opportunity for question and
Okay, so
answer. So just tell us
All right, so
what
here's
the
what happened
situation is, and then we can
October
certainly
4th.
refer you.
October 4th, 2025, I came to Bally's, I think about 12 or maybe 11 or about 12 or 1 a.m. I ended up playing all night long. What happened was when I come to the casino, I am one that can hear when the machines are winning and when they're losing. All the machines were going off, so I already know that sound. I tell people, you guys can't recognize it, but I can. So what happened was I played one machine, I won about 1,200 on that. So I still had about 1,000 on me. I saw some machines looking lonely, 3 machines. I said, you know what, I'm gonna go over there. I sat down at that machine, I put money in, and the machine, what happened was the whole screen filled up with the coins. And I looked up, I said, you just won $11,800. So what happened was it sat there, and it said Sierra complete or whatever. So I'm like, I'm waiting for it to go off, because I am a jackpot winner. I've won like 3 other jackpots before. So nothing happened. So I get my phone, I lift it up to take a picture, and it starts running again. So I'm like, wow. I said, I'm gonna have to fight for this one. So okay. So what happened was, I hit it once or twice, but I said to a slot attendant, I said, sir, I just filled up the screen. What happened? I didn't get anything. So he went to open up the machine, and he showed me everything filled up except one coin. I said, that's not what I had. So in the meantime, another slot attendant came and a supervisor came over. So I said to him, and a woman's running over to me talking about, Miss, I just told my girlfriend, you won $11,000. I said, you saw it? She said, yeah. So I said, okay. So I said to them, run the machine back. So the guy says, this one doesn't run back. I said, it doesn't run back. Now, usually if I have a complaint, you run the machine back. This one doesn't run back. So I said, oh, it doesn't? So the supervisor's there. And I said, you're the supervisor? He said, yeah. I said, you run this whole floor? He said, I run everything here. The slots, everything. I'm the supervisor in charge. So I said, well, that's no problem. It doesn't run back. Look at the cameras. He says to me, no. I said, no. He said, no. I said, and then he said to me, I didn't ask him why. He said to me, you want to know why? So I said, yeah, I believe the machine. And I'm saying, you believe, I believe, this is the statement he made to me. All right. So then I said, okay. So then they're there. There's like, it's nothing. The guy said, you only played 75, so you only won $20. But I won $11,000 on 75 cents at Ocean Casino 5 years ago. So it's not the money. So then I said, okay. So what I did, I went home. I looked on the internet. I looked at things. It said you're supposed to run the machine back if there's a dispute. Not the machine. You're to run the cameras back if there is a dispute. So my first due process was violated there. So then I came back to the casino. First I tried to call Milton. He's the director. I don't know Milton's last name, of the slot part. I got back there. They didn't let me talk to him. I would get back there. I asked one of the supervisors, where's Milton? He said he's walking around. So I saw Milton. So they go over to the machine he goes over to, and it's the other guy came over from security. They give me the form to send to you guys, the DGE. They said, you have to fill out this form. I said, well, I wanted to look at the cameras. And he says, well, we'll see what we can do. Okay, but fill this out. He said, now I have to shut your machine down, is what he said to me. He said, because this machine has to be shut down since it's going to be in a dispute. So I said, okay. So I took the form. I go home. I come back 2 days later. Well, I got the woman's number that saw me win the $11,000. So I got her information. She says to me, I called her, I said, I just want to make sure I have your phone number and everything. She said, they shut your machine down. I said, he told me he had to shut it down. So when I get back there 2 days later, that machine is back open again. And it was a guy, I guess, and I bumped into Milton. I said, Milton, you said you want to shut the machine down. Oh, I don't know what you're doing. I said, it's okay, but it's like 2 days later. I said, my letter is written. I just have to mail it off. Well, I haven't heard anything from them. So, the machine is the way it is. I said, oh, okay. So in the meantime, what I'm asking about is I sent a certified letter. I have a boyfriend that's been in the industry for 38 years. He works at one of the casinos for 38 years. He's like, send a certified letter to them, make sure that they get it. So I said, okay, I'll do that. I sent that off. It was a Saturday before, what was it, a holiday, President's Day maybe? It was the Saturday before that, so it had to be around October 8th or whatever. So I give you guys a chance to get it. It's been like October 20th, I get the receipt back that you received it. But I haven't received one call, one email, or anything from the DGA. Okay, Department of Gaming Enforcement, DG. And I'm saying, well, so what's going on? Does this department really exist? Because, I saw online how everything is. You do the calculations for your total for the year, and you did great this year. I saw that. But I noticed also Bally's Casino's machine winnings are down. It looked like it was 2.5 million down. And maybe this is why these machines, as I see the guys opening up the machines, I've been going in and out. I see the guys opening up the machines, going into it, fixing it. I see another machine. I said, sir, I'm tapping this and it's not working. He comes over, he taps it. See, I have to do this a certain way. So I'm saying, oh, okay, you know how to do it. But I'm seeing that there's some faultiness. Not only that, everyone dealing with the machines, and I don't want to say this and sound prejudiced, is older. I'm old. I'm 69. I'm older. But we know now today with these computers that we need some young people in there that are there fixing the machines. Yes, I know how you do a lot of things, but these young people, as a teacher, 3-year-old, 5-year-old, kindergarten, I taught all ages, they get the iPad. They learn to use these computers right away. So they've been doing it for years. I have a son that's a computer genius, and he's 44. So I'm saying these people know what to do. He has to come in sometime to reset things. So I'm saying, do these guys really know what they're doing with these computers? Because a little learning like this and that is not enough to really understand what's going on. But I see two people at the same time at it. But I'm saying this, the guy that told me he wasn't gonna look at the cameras, he needs to be fired. They wanna save money? His name is Andrews. I wrote his number down. And, and in fact, I went there, I was thinking, maybe we should bring him to this meeting. I thought about bringing a lawyer as well, because they said the next recourse is I could sue. But I thought about bringing him to me. I saw him at Bally's. I said, "You're Andrews, right? Do you remember me from October 4th? I said this past weekend to him. He's like, "No, I don't." I said, "You don't remember me coming?" And we had a dispute about me winning the championship. No. My conclusion is he drinks on the job. Obviously, if you can't remember me, because we went through this, and also to talk to me like that, like you want to know why. I didn't even ask you why. You want to know why I'm not running the cameras back? Well, why? Because I believe the machine. That's a lot of nerve. That tells me there's no recourse for any of us that are supposed to win a jackpot and that don't get it. So you feel that anything can be done because nobody's going to do anything about it. He doesn't even realize I do have a high card. And another thing at Bally's, I'm at the invite level. I have 33,000 points, okay? And I'm waiting for them to invite me from October 4th to now. That needle has not moved for me to be invited. So I'm looking at them picking and choosing who wins jackpots and who you want to make a high card level because you don't want to give me those additional perks that come with it. Because in 6,000 points, that needle should be moving. I've taken pictures of it, so I have pictures on my phone, how the needle has never moved. But I mean, I'm just need to know what's going on. What am I supposed to do? I'm waiting to hear from the DGA, okay, or DGE, I'm sorry, waiting to hear from you guys. And not one message. I've called a couple times. One guy said to me, so I know are you Turner? I said, yeah, I'm Turner. He's like, okay. I said, well, where do we go from here? What are we doing? Well, let me put you through to this answer machine. I said, can you give me somebody that knows something? He said, let me put you through to the answer machine. The answer machine was full. You couldn't even leave a message, okay? So, I mean, luckily I called the commissioner here, and I talked to her. So he returned, your Nance? He returned my call. Besides that, I have not received a call or anything. And he told me, and I did see there was a meeting. And he was saying, well, come to the meeting. Because I saw the meeting. I'm thinking, what should I do from here? But no one's gotten back. It's October 20th that they definitely received it. And look what the date is, almost a month later.
Well, as you know, there's two separate entities. We're the Casino Control
I
Commission and the
understand.
Division of Gaming Enforcement. Your complaint lies with the Division of Gaming Enforcement. We do have some staff here from the division. Maybe one of them could help you. If not, we will refer your matter over to the division as well.
Right, I understand if there's an appeal, the commissioner gets
Yeah.
involved then.
So did Darrell get all your information?
I have the letter, I mean, I told him to tell them to bring my complaint here. I don't know if they did. Another thing is, that machine has been moved. I stay on top of it. The machine is totally moved away off the floor. I mean, did the DGE, did the gaming enforcement tell Bally's that I'm in dispute?
We wouldn't know that
No,
information,
but we need to
I'm sorry.
find this out, because the thing is, that machine is moved totally somewhere else, okay, of the 3 clusters. So, I mean, this is serious stuff. I put $33,000 in it. January, I won 2 jackpots at Resort, $25,000 total. The beginning of the month, January 4th, almost the same date as I'm getting this one, and at the end of the month, that totaled $25,000. And as I said, at Ocean 5 years ago, I won $11,000. I know what it looks like. Another thing with these machines, it stopped, and that's what jackpots are supposed to do, but nothing went on. Went in there this past weekend, as I said, and the security guard's like, oh, a guy won a jackpot. He won $15,000. But you know what? I've never seen nothing like it. The machine kept running, and he started winning even more. I mean, it kept running. Everybody knows the jackpot stops. It goes off. If it's going to run again, it's after you get paid, okay? So whatever's going on with their machines, it needs to be investigated. And they're down 2.5 million, okay, from last year, winnings on the slot machines. So maybe it's because if whatever's going on, faulty machines, whatever's going on, it's in there. So, I mean, that's something that has to be looked at as well.
Again, like I said, we will refer your matter over to the Division of Gaming Enforcement. Thank you for
Well,
coming
hopefully
today.
I'll hear from them now. Because I haven't heard a word.
Chairman,
Yes.
it's Mary Jo Flaherty. How are you?
Good, good.
I'm not personally familiar with this matter. I haven't received any correspondence with respect to it, but ma'am, if you could please give whatever information you have to the division representatives there, we will certainly look into it. And we will see that the status of the machine and that it's secured. But I appreciate you showing up today and providing this information, and we will definitely look into it and be back with you as soon as possible.
Okay, because I have the letter where one of your agents did receive it, and that said
Okay,
October
great.
20th.
Okay, that would be great. If we could just make copies of that, and if you could give that to one of the attorneys at the division that are present, we will definitely take a look at it and immediately follow up on it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Flaherty.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary
Sure.
Jo.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
The Division Attorney. Okay. There are no email comments, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. The public participation portion is now closed. Do we have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Do I have a second? Do I have a second to adjourn the meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.